it's Elaine with Elaine's Custom Cards with a new card for you today. I'm calling this one Ornate Garden Easter Blessings card. Today you can, as a customer, you can start purchasing the Ornate Garden suite. And that's what I used for this card. So let's get started. I'll tell you what I used here, and then the sizes and everything will be on my blog. I used thick Whisper White, 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2 for the card base. I took a piece of terracotta tile cardstock. This is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, and I embossed it with the Ornate 3D embossing folder. You can see that it's very pretty. Embosses really nicely. And then I took some early espresso, and I used the Ornate Layers dies, and I used this one right here. So it's the second to the largest. And when you die cut this, it leaves the center intact. It doesn't cut the center out. So that's what I used to die cut this. Looks kind of black, but it's brown. And then for the inside piece that fits perfectly, I used the rectangle stitched framelets, and I used the third from the smallest right here for that. Now, I stamped it with the Ornate style stamp set, and I used this big image right here, and it's red rubber. And what I did, let me move this out of the way, I just kind of angled it on here. Now you can stamp it first and then die cut it out, maybe color it and then die cut it. That way you get the part of the flower that you want. I actually did it the opposite way, and then thought, well, I could have just stamped it first. But anyway, that's the way I did it. And the other things that are in this suite is the paper, the Designer Series paper. I didn't use any of it, but it's really pretty paper. I used some on my previous cards that I made. In the back, some of it has gold foiling on it. So I haven't tried that back side yet. Of course, you can see I've already chopped this up. Then there's another set of dies that come with this, and I've made cards using some of these dies. This one, I've used this die right here. And then there's another stamp set that's the Ornate Thanks. So these are all thank you sentiments. But what I used for this card, I wanted an Easter card, so I used the Itty Bitty Greetings stamp set. It's a two set stamp set, and I used the Easter Blessings, and then I punched it out. I already stamped it. I stamped it with terracotta tile. I forgot to tell you I stamped this flower image with early espresso. And I only wanted, well, I'll show you how I did this. You can do it like, what I did was, I didn't want a flag on both ends, so I lined it up. Let me see, I'm going to have to angle it to me. Okay, I angled it up like that. Okay. And then I took my scissors and I cut in to the distance I wanted, right down the center of that point. And then I cut in like that to get my little flag end. Thusly. That looks pretty good. That way it looks like this. Instead of pointed at both ends, that's not what I was looking for. So I did that. And then there's also ribbon. There's Old Olive and terracotta tile ribbon in the suite. I used the Old Olive on this card. And I tied a bow around one of the bottles that I use, and then I just cut it. Let's see if you can see. I cut it right there after I tied the bow, so it was attached. I like this better than putting a piece of ribbon around and then putting a glue dot on the back of the bow, because I think it holds up better. It stays on the card because it's actually part of the ribbon, not a separate piece. And then I did put a glue dot there. Okay. Let's see. Let's put this card together. I think I have all the pieces. I did put some of these gilded gems on, which is part of the suite. And in my blog, I'll put all this information for you. So the first thing we're going to do is, well, let me tell you, I didn't tell you how I colored this. I'm getting ahead of myself. I used Stampin' blends on this. I stamped it with Early Espresso, and then I used Dark Daffodil Delight, Light and Dark Soul Saffron, Light and Dark Old Olive, and Light Cajun Craze. I colored this with the Light Cajun Craze because we don't have a terracotta tile Stampin' blend. So that's what this is. Then I colored this flower with the dark So Saffron, and then I highlighted it with the Daffodil Delight, and then I blended it with the dark So Saffron. And I did that with this. I colored it with the dark So Saffron, and then colored over the top of it with the light Daffodil Delight. No, actually it's the dark Daffodil Delight. So dark So Saffron first, and then the dark Daffodil Delight. That gets you this color right here. Because the color in the suite is Bumblebee, and that's a new color for 2020 that we don't have yet. And for these flowers, I colored them with light So Saffron, and then the centers I did the dark So Saffron, and then put the dark Daffodil Delight over the top. For the leaves, I used light Old Olive first, and then the little veins, I used the dark Old Olive, and then blended it after that with the light. That's how I colored this. So let's glue this to the front of our ornate frame. This frame, the stitched frame, fits perfectly in this ornate frame, which is really nice to have it a perfect fit. If you don't have these frames, that piece in the middle is about 2 1/4 by 3 5/8 approximately. So that's that. Then I glued this to my embossed piece. Just right to the center. Okay. Just like so. Okay, then I took my ribbon with the bow on it and I put it in the center at the top, kind of on the between the white and the brown, the whisper white and the early espresso cardstock. And then I took a couple pieces of Scotch tape. We're going to tape these ends to the back, like so. You want to get them as even as you can across there so they look straight. Okay, just like that. And then I took Stampin' Dimensionals and put them on the back. And I put actually quite a few because this is a big piece of cardstock. And you don't want it to collapse when it goes through the mail, so it's entirely up to you how much you want to put on here. And then I took and put some on the top of that ribbon. So I wanted to make sure that the ribbon was going nowhere. So I just took a couple of edges here and put right there on the ribbon. I know I taped it, but so that's how I did that. Okay, then we want to make sure we're opening the right way, so here's the bottom of our card. We'll put this on the front and we'll be done pretty quickly. I'm sitting here trying to figure out what to do for Easter cards, and it's kind of weird not being able to go anywhere. The only place I've been going is the post office. I'm sure in a week or so I'm probably going to have to go grocery shopping again, but so far I have plenty of food and I haven't worried too much about going anywhere. So now we're just going to center this on the front of our card. Just like so. And we're going to take our sentiment, and I stamped this with terracotta tile. I probably said that already, but I guess it doesn't hurt to repeat myself a little bit. We're going to put these mini dimensionals on the back of this. And I'm going to put 3. Okay? And I'll post this Ornate Garden Suite flyer on my blog so that you can have all the numbers and everything if you're interested in ordering. Now I'm going to put this right at the edge of this terracotta tile piece of cardstock. It's like so. That looks straight. Okay. Now I'm going to take some of these gems, and I'm just going to use the small ones on this card. I'll put one here, one over here, and one right down here. Like so. Okay. I haven't decided what to do on the inside of this card yet, so it's not decorated yet. I haven't stamped it or anything, because I don't know what I'm going to put on the inside. That's your card for today. So I hope you had got all the things you wanted during Celebration because it's now over. But there'll be another one next year, and the annual catalog, the new one comes out June 1st, and this Ornate Garden Suite will be in that catalog. But starting today, you can order that suite, and the the number for the entire suite is 154153, and I'll put all of this on my blog so that you can see what it looks like. So you have a blessed day and have fun stamping.